Goal of the 9-yard line. Hamilton keeps it. Touchdown.
Hey, we got to give God nothing but the praise, and we got to thank him for waking us up every single day. We got to thank him for being here. I'm your boy, One Life Stu, Ryan Stewart. This is a wonderful day to have a show called In the Huddle with Joe Ham. And before we go any further, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of In the Huddle with your boy, Joe Ham. I'm One Live Stu, Ryan Stewart, right here on Stewart Media and Entertainment. And before we dive into today's madness of college football playoffs, of NFL injuries, of drama in the AFC North, I got to bring in the man of the hour, a Georgia Tech legend, Heisman finalist, an All-American, a college football Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer in 2 different states, South Carolina and Georgia. He is the heartbeat of this show and of this program, one of the sharpest minds in football. You know him, you respect him, and if you ever lined up against him, you probably fear him as well. Welcome into the Huddle with Joe Ham, Mr. Joe Hamilton himself. Brother Ham, how you feeling today, sir?
Man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, huh? Hey, listen, I'm doing exciting. I am very exciting, Stu. Excited, and why I'm excited, man, the time of year, fellowship, family, a lot to be grateful for. And I'm ready to chop it up. This is exciting for me. And I'm grateful for a lot of things, but right now, this hour and a half, hour 15, I just can't wait. Stu, have you ever in your lifetime watching sports, watched a national championship high school football game?
I do it just about every year. And last night I watched the entire Carver game because Carver is a high school that is coached by Jarvis Jones, former Georgia Bulldog, former Pittsburgh Steeler. Mm-hmm. And now I believe this was Jarvis's first year or second year.
You're correct. Carver. First year, sir.
Okay, first year. Last year they won the whole thing. And this year they go back under his leadership and win it again. So I watched that game last night, and I watched the second half of the Buford game last night. I often watch high school football when it's on in the state of Georgia or South Carolina.
Absolutely. Quick correction. Carver Columbus lost it last year. They won it this year. They lost it last year.
Okay. Thank you very much.
And Stu, I have not. Last night it was my first time ever watching a national championship high school football team played, and it was such a game. Buford and Carrollton, both number one in different polls in the nation, and to be here in the backyard in Georgia. Shout out to the state of Georgia. I mean, to have two teams nationally ranked like that, playing at a high level. When you hear the names of the schools these guys are committed to and going to, and what's in the cupboard for those guys coming back next year.
Impressive.
My goodness, man. Shout out to those young fellas, man. Yeah. I was just wondering, man, that was the first time I was able to ever partake in that. I've watched some high school state championship games, but I've never watched a national championship game.
Well, praise the Lord for YouTube's multimedia platform. I had Prime Television, which I want to talk to you about here in a second. I had the streaming service Prime on, and I was watching the Knicks NBA Cup Championship. Okay, the Knicks played the Spurs, and I also had the high school football on. So I was toggling back and forth with the volume on the Knicks game and on the high school game. So wonderful night of sports on a big Tuesday night. But I'm very glad you brought this up because this is kind of where I would like to start. Shout out to my New York Knicks. Let's give them a nice round of applause. Make sure we do that right. Last night they beat the San Antonio Spurs in the NBA Cup Championship. In-season tournament. This was the 3rd edition of it. In the 1st edition, the Los Angeles Lakers won. In the 2nd edition, the Milwaukee Bucks won. And last night in the 3rd edition, my New York Knicks won. My brother, being the sour puss that he is, doesn't like the in-season cup championship that the NBA has initiated and has been going through with the last 3 years. He says it's a waste of time. He says it's not important. He says it doesn't matter. However, to me, it matters a lot. To me, the money is mind-blowing for the untraditional starter or for the untraditional player that may be on a team as the 10th, 12th, 13th, 14th player on the bench, somebody that's not making, Giannis money or SGA money or Jalen money, okay? $212,000 goes to every loser that played in the game last night. $530,000 goes to every winner that played last night. So shouts out to the NBA and the NBA Cup Championship that took place last night on television. Yeah. The problem I have before getting your input.
Ooh, you have a problem.
I have a problem, and it's a huge problem. What about my friends and buddies that don't have Prime TV? What about my friends and buddies that don't have, what's the little thing you stick in the side of the TV?
Fire stick.
What about my friends and buddies that don't have a Fire Stick that's been jailbroken and they get all the sports? What about the folks that just have YouTube and or regular TV or cable? That's a bunch of households, Joe, that don't get to watch an NBA championship cup finals.
Man.
It bothered me last night because I texted one or two people knowing you had it. I texted one or two people asking them if they were watching, and they were like, man, I don't have Prime. Send me an update from time to time. So share your thoughts on the NBA Cup Championship that took place last night, and share your thoughts on it being on a streaming service in every household known to man.
You said a mouthful, Stu, and I'll start by saying this, my brother. I love your brother, Doug Stewart, but I want to boo him off the stage. You remember Sandman at the Apollo? That's what I want to do to Doug Stewart right now, because he's lost his sportsmanship. He's lost his love for the game. He's lost his love for being a fanatic, because that's all that was. When is Doug Stewart going to look at December 16th in a NBA game with that much hype, that much fanfare, that great players, all NBA players, future faces of the NBA?
Everybody on the Spurs roster that was on that floor, everybody on the Knicks roster that was on that floor wanted that damn game. That game mattered to everybody that played. As a matter of fact, the games in the NBA Championship Cup leading up to the finals mattered this season. And for people just to blow it off like it's nothing, they're out of their mind.
Yeah, because what am I missing? Would you just rather watch a game that came on a Tuesday night that had no implications on it at all? Would that tickle your fancy? Or are you going to get a little bit of hypeness around it? Guys playing a little bit harder, diving for loose balls, having that little cherry on their knee because they're going for that 530,000 or that 250,000. It means something. And oh, by the way, you are able to judge your team. You're able to go against a situational basketball to where you can lean back on that when you watch film down the road and say, we've been through this before, or we grew through this. So I have nothing but admiration for those guys and Adam Silver from implementing that. And when you hear the players talk, that's how it's going to roll, Stu. That's why it's going to get legs and momentum. If the fans love it and the players embracing it and playing hard, you must continue. You brought up something to me about the viewership. That hurts me as well, Stu. And I don't know what you do about it, because we know the world, it's colored with green. Yes. Money. So Prime Video probably bought up all the, or their share for the NBA, that broadcasting group with Stan Van Gundy and Dwayne Wade. They do an outstanding job.
Great job.
Man.
And that's another thing. Another thing. Think about this a little bit deeper. Ooh, Joe, thank you. This is In the Huddle with your boy, Joe Ham. I'm One Live Stu Ryan Stewart. Thank y'all for joining us. Dig a little bit deeper. The team that called the game, being led by Stan Van Gundy and Dwayne Wade, perennial Hall of Famer, perennial NBA great, former NBA coach that was removed from his duties of coaching the New York Knicks. Stan Van Gundy had to watch the team that he damn well should have been coaching, even though Mike Brown's doing a great job, and I really like where he's leading my team.
Stu, no. What are you talking about? Not Stan. No. This is Stan Van Gundy, not Jeff Van Gundy.
I said Stan.
Yeah, but Stan never coached you. You're thinking about Thibodeau.
Thibodeau. I confused Thibodeau with.
Hey, but let me piggyback up with what you said and where I thought you were going. Okay. Stan Van Gundy got replaced by Pat Riley, coaching the Miami Heat. When Dwayne Wade went on and won that NBA championship. So the relationship and the way they talk to each other is no animosity because remember, so to speak, Stan Van Gundy got benched that year as a head coach, and then Pat Riley stepped in and led them to beating Dallas Mavericks and Dirk Nowitzki that year. But there is no doubt that outstanding broadcasting group with the insights. And I don't know any negative, man. Stu, to be honest with you, any naysayers, they're not true fans, and they're finding something to hate on. That's the only thing I can say. I told you right before we got on, who would have thought I would have glanced at that game, Knicks against the Spurs, because it's a big game in stars and implications of two of the top 15 teams in the NBA. But my God, how I was tuned in last night was somewhat of a championship. And I want to present this to you before we go forward. Okay. How are you, as a New York Knickerbocker, treating that championship cup that y'all won last year? Is it sticking your chest out? Is it bodacious? Is it bragging that we have arrived? Or is this a stepping stone to where I know the ultimate goal for you guys are?
Yeah, that Joe, that's exactly what it is. This allows us to lean on and dig deeper for something bigger. Okay. The cup matters. The money matters. I mentioned the guys at the end of the bench that don't ever see the floor. The winners on the Knicks walk away with $530,000 each. That matters. But if you can win the in-season tournament for the championship cup in the NBA, you should have aspirations to hold a trophy up at the end of the year. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. No, you're right. No, I give you a little quick nugget. The OKC Thunder got blown out almost by 50 last year in the NBA Cup championship against the Milwaukee Bucks. I know it was 30 points. And who won the championship?
Right.
So it's all about learning, experience, and growing. Yes, the in-season, mid-season, you can't lose a championship right now, but boy, you can get better and see where your team is.
Yeah. Shouts out to the Knicks. Leading all scores with 28 points was OG Anunoby. He was on fire last night. Wasn't missing from behind the arc. And every time I saw him posted up outside that three-point line and no one defending him, I'm like, he's going to hit it. He's going to hit it. And he hit the majority of it. Shouts out to Big Body Brunson. Jalen Brunson had 25 points last night. Shouts out to Jordan Clarkson, who's playing outstanding. Tyler Kolek, a little point guard that doesn't turn the ball over much. Hits open threes when he gets a shot. Hits a mid-range shot when he gets a shot. Karl Anthony Towns had 16. I'm ecstatic about how
you're missing one person, brother. You're missing one person.
Well, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges. Nope. I said Jordan Clarkson. Who you referring to? I'm missing, Joe.
Coach Mike Brown.
I said that a second ago. We got deterred.
Well, because this is, a challenge for him now.
Right.
With expectations that you guys have for the New York Knicks to championship or bust.
Right.
And to have those personalities and bounce it off and trying to change things up. Shout out to Mike Brown, man. I like where the Knicks are headed. And let's be real. I'm not a Knicks fan. I'm rooting for basketball. I'm a 76ers fan, but basketball is better when the New York Knicks are playing well.
Yes.
No doubt about it.
Your team, 76ers, Knicks, Boston Celtics, Lakers. There's a handful of teams that when they are playing well, it's better for the NBA in its entirety. Everybody gets a little more enthralled when the true blue bloods of the NBA are playing well, and that's the case that we're dealing with right now. In the Huddle with your boy Joe Ham. Thank you for the correction because I lost it for a minute. I had a brain fart when it came to Stan Van Gundy being benched back in Miami back in the day for Pat Riley. But outstanding job. That's why you're here. That's why this is In the Huddle with your boy Joe Ham. Before we get to today's show, where we'll be talking about college football playoffs, the blue bloods that remain, the bye week is a detrimental to possible teams. NFL coaches that have not won titles. Will we see a new title holder this year? There's a lot of things we've got on the roster to talk about today. But before we do that, we talked about not Josh McDaniels in Miami. What's McDaniels' first name in Miami?
Mike
McDaniels. We talked about Mike McDaniels down in Miami. And will he be benching Tua? Will Tua be still the starter as the season rolls along? They're just about out of the postseason opportunity. Sir, give me your thoughts on Tua and Mike McDaniels and Tua's future, and give me your thoughts on the Miami Dolphins right now before we dig into today's topic.
Well, Stu, I don't think this is a hot take, me taking this or saying this to you, because you know how I'll delve into quarterback play. But Tua Tagovailoa is finished. He's finished. He's finished as a NFL quarterback as far as producing. Yes, he's going to have some games that he's going to wow us as far as 250 yards plus. But his days as a starting quarterback is over. It is absolutely over because his skill set is all about arm strength and accuracy. And that's fading away. He's not standing in the pocket anymore. He's not getting the ball downfield or pushing the ball downfield. He looks like in the pocket, his eyes are wide open. He feels the rush, and that throws everything off. And when you look at it as a fair weather fan and you're a morning newspaper reader, so to speak, you would say Tua had a good game. Let me read you the stats. 22 of 28, 253 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. A 113.2 rating. You would say that if you were just looking at the stat sheet that guy played well.
Right.
That guy played well.
Right.
And Stu, 65 of those yards he only had in the first 3 quarters. He only had 65 in the first 3 quarters, Stu. He's got now 15 interceptions on the season. He took 4 sacks Monday night, and 3 of them when he held the ball for 10 seconds. He can't make anybody better. He can't make anybody better. He can't lead this team anymore. And when you step on the podium and point your fingers at everybody else, not meeting, not showing up the players only meeting, that's not all that's not the all be all, but you're gonna have many eyes on you at that point.
Yeah.
Are you gonna perform? Are you the problem, or you sitting there pointing fingers at everybody else?
Right. Yeah.
And now it looks like Tua was the problem. And I'll go to Mike McDaniel with you now. Let me see what you got, Mike McDaniel. If you're saying that Tua was the problem, he's hindering your offense, because these offensive coordinators are very, very competitive. If Mike McDaniel is going to look at Sean McVay, he's going to look at Kyle Shanahan, he's going to look at Kevin O'Connell, and these guys that's drawing up plays in the dirt, creativity, concepts through this world, and all of a sudden I'm handicapped with the quarterback. I've got calling plays and I can't show off my skill set or my creativity. Oh, well, now you're on deck, Mike McDaniel. Right. You're going to bench this guy, and you're going to bench him for a rookie in Quinn Ewers.
Yes.
So I want to see what you're going to do now. So it's not alarming that Tua got benched, but to do it this late, when you want Tua to try to play well, to be trade bait for next season, because the lasting memories for anything you have, any hope of getting some value for Tua.
What have you done for me lately?
Yeah, what have you done for me lately? But now lately, I saw you bitch the guy you might be trying to trade. Right. It's a bad situation. So I just think, and I don't want it to happen for Tua, his days of starting in the NFL, I think is over, Stu.
He's making over $50 million per year. If they do shake him down and get rid of him in any form or fashion, it's going to cost him right around $100 million to pay him to leave. He will be a backup in this league for several years to come if he is relieved of his duties. So he'll have a job, but being a starter, I'm not sure. You mentioned Quinn Ewers, and Mike McDaniel starting Quinn Ewers, the rookie that comes out of Texas, who who didn't finish strong in Texas because of the heat that was coming off of the bench with Manning. With Manning. How do you think Quinn Ewers are going to do? How do you think Quinn Ewers will do with this opportunity? And do you think Mike McDaniel's future will be tied to the play of Quinn Ewers when given the opportunity starting this weekend?
Oh, no. Mike McDaniel is excused from having his chips all in the basket of Quinn Ewers. This is one that I don't – the bigger thing real quick is you're going to pass over Zach Wilson. How bad is Zach Wilson, the former number 2 overall pick that went to the New York Jets? How bad is he to get passed over for Quinn Ewers? Quinn Ewers is going to struggle. He's going to struggle on a team that offense is very complex in its own right. Your weapons, A-Chain in the running back position, and then Waddle outside. So you're going to struggle a little bit. But I say something a little bit deeper, Stu. Are you going to paint Quinn Ewers at the same brush as you paint Shedeur Sanders? Mm-hmm. Both are rookies. I mean, are you going to want him to come in and play right away? I think Quinn Ewers went, 6th round, late, just like Shedeur Sanders.
After Shedeur.
So what's going on here? So now I don't expect a rookie to come in there while everybody is fresh. 14 games in to play while these guys are fighting for their playoff lives. I will be surprised, very surprised if Quinn Ewers shocks us, let alone if he goes out there and leads the Miami Dolphins to a win. It's just not happening. No.
Quinn Ewers drafted by the Miami Dolphins in 2025 in the 7th round, 231st pick overall. You just compared him to Shedeur Sanders, who was drafted in the 5th round, 144 overall. So he's damn near the last pick in the draft. He's damn near Mr. Irrelevant. But I do think that the fate of Mike McDaniels as being a head coach, he'll have a job as an offensive quarterbacks coach or an offensive coordinator the remainder of his career. I think he's that brilliant. But I do think the fate of his time in Miami is tied to Ewers and how it goes when he brings him in this weekend.
I think it's already said and done, though, Stu. So you're telling me that if Quinn Ewers comes in and be a Brock Purdy, which I can't say he can't happen.
Right.
Brock Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant, and
right.
We're looking at him right now playing very, very good ball. The decision's already made up, Stu. I don't think Quinn Ewers, they can't save playoffs because you're at 4-10 right now. You can't make it to the playoffs. So that would be somewhat fool's gold if you're going to say Quinn Ewers is our quarterback going into the future. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Now he could be the quarterback for somebody else, but not Mike McDaniel. It can't save Mike McDaniel's job. No.
Okay. Little Miami talk, little NBA Cup championship talk. Had to get that stuff out of the way. But after we pay some bills, we're going to turn around and come back and jump into the college football playoffs. Guess what? We're 2 days away.
Woo!
We're 2 days away, and we'll be starting talking about the home teams that are hosting games this upcoming weekend. I can't wait. Y'all keep it locked. He's Joe Hamilton. I'm your boy, One Live Stu, Ryan Stewart, and this is In the Huddle with Joe Hamilton. Y'all keep it locked. Listen, I played in the NFL. I've taken enough shots to last a lifetime. And let me tell you this, taking a shot just to lose weight, that's not a smart play. That's why I roll with Brain IQ, the all-natural weight chews, cut cravings, boost metabolism, and sharpen focus. No needles, no chemicals, no crash. Just results you can chew on. And Brain IQ is not just about weight chews. They've got a full lineup of all-natural products to keep your mind sharp, your body fueled, and your health on point. Skip the needles, choose natural. Order now. BrainIQHealth.com/REF/1LiveStew. Brain IQ Chews. Smart, natural, built for results. In the Huddle with your boy Joe Ham, I'm One Live Stu, Ryan Stewart. Quick reminder that on tomorrow morning, you can catch the Two Live Stews, Doug and I, and the Two Live Stews Experience on YouTube right here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment's page on YouTube. So just log in, catch us live starting at 7 o'clock like we do every Monday and Wednesday. And if you can't catch us live, then you can catch us whenever time allows. The show will be posted all over the place, all over the web, Instagram, Facebook, as well as on the Sports Rap Network podcast platform. So y'all can catch us there as well. But again, this is In the Huddle with your boy Joe Ham. A lot of stuff going on in the world of college football, Joe. It starts tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. It starts on Friday. And I know we're both looking forward to the home venues hosting games. That's Texas A&M and that's Oklahoma, sir. Share your thoughts about these upcoming games that's going to be taking place on Friday. Share your thoughts on how huge it is for Kyle Field to be turned into a postseason cauldron. Share your thoughts on how it feels to have Oklahoma have a game in Norman for the first time in the college football playoffs. Share your thoughts, Joe, and let's dig into this college football playoff.
Yes, Stu. Shout out to the NCAA. They don't do everything right all the time, but when I have a chance, or I get a chance to give them kudos, I'm going to do it, brother. And to have the first round be at a venue on a college campus, you know what that brings? The pageantry. That's what college football is all about. Yeah. Kyle Field, the 12th man, hosting. And who have they playing? The Miami Hurricanes. You got Oklahoma. Oklahoma is no doubt, maybe not as of late, but Oklahoma is considered one of the blue bloods, aren't they?
Yep.
They are definitely a blue blood in college football. So hosting those guys, and you got games in Oregon. Who to have a game in Oregon? And then you got another game in Ole Miss. So at that point, there are games here that where either you want to get rid of conference champions getting in the 12-team playoffs, and I understand rewarding those guys that they earned it, won in their conference, or you're going to have to move to 16 games, too, because this weekend I don't want to be interrupted by watching James Madison in Oregon. I'm sorry, and I'm a football guy. I don't want to be interrupted by watching a rematch of Ole Miss and Tulane at Ole Miss's venue. In which is the game that was 45-10 in favor of Ole Miss. The spreads tell me I don't want to watch it. Now, if you don't have a dog in the fight, if you don't have a relative playing or a family member doing something there in that organization, come on now. But I am thrilled about the matchup between Oklahoma and Alabama, and dare I say Miami and Texas A&M. I want to say this very, very early before the playoffs start, Stu. The ACC in Miami, that's my dark horse. And I'm not going to call Miami, which Miami is a blue blood, but they haven't been blue blooding lately, so to speak. Since when? 2003? They hadn't been there, but they perennially are a national brand, no doubt. But that's a team I think reminds me of the SEC. With the speed, the skill set, the bravado, and they have the toughness of a Big Ten team. So why they lost 2 games, I can't explain that to them. Sometimes Carson Beck will do that to you. Sometimes Carson Beck will disappear. But if Carson Beck does not disappear in these playoffs, those guys can go in a run and be somewhat like the Ohio State Buckeyes last year, winning big, getting hot at the right time, because they back their way into the playoffs. They back their way into the playoffs, being outside of the playoffs and needing help. So my dark horse is no doubt the Miami Hurricanes being ranked 10th out of the 12 teams, and I'm just excited about the venues that I'm about to see early on Friday and Saturday.
It's your boys, the Two Live Stews. Actually, it's not the Two Live Stews. It's In the Huddle with Joe Ham. He's Joe Hamilton. I'm One Live Stew, Ryan Stewart. Joe just gave you a few predictions. Hey, man, talk to me about your lack of excitement for Oregon versus JMU and for Ole Miss versus Tulane. You hinted towards that a little bit earlier, but especially in that Ole Miss game, Joe, Ole Miss now missing Lane Kiffin, the guy that's the architect of that team that's gotten them to this point where they are having the best season in school history, and Tulane, who gets a second shot at Ole Miss, who survived them earlier this year. So in your eyes, there's no excitement that you have to watch those 2 games, Joe?
No, sir. And Stu, I don't want to sound that terrible of a person, but the coaches and the experience with James Madison, the coaches and the experience with Tulane, the Green Waves, man, it's outstanding. It's outstanding. The exposure those guys are going to get, and the swag bag the national recognition, yes. But I'm a prisoner of the moment. I know what's going to happen. And I'm a little bit in my feelings because when you look at it, I would rather see Texas, a 3-loss Texas team. I would rather see a 2-loss Vanderbilt team. I would rather see a 2-loss Fighting Irish of Notre Dame team as opposed to James Madison and Tulane. And all we're talking about now, maybe Vegas, what's the point spread? Will those guys cover? Can they have a moral victory? Well, I've been in that situation a couple of times where you want your team to hang it or be close, at least get to 10 or don't get blowout. Have their starters come out and at least start the second half, not let it be over before half. But again, this is playoff. If this was regular season or midweek or a bowl game, so to speak, no, yeah, I can understand that, but not the playoffs, Stu. There's going to be something's going to have to be done about this because it's going to be watered down. I know a lot of people say if you move to 16 teams, it's going to be like that.
Then we're going to start looking at 17, 18, and 19, and 20. I mean, if you go to 20, we're going to start looking at 21, 22, and 23. Everybody right outside that's on the bubble will have a case. That's why it doesn't matter how many teams you go to. There'll always be a reason why you can add 1 or 2 more additional teams.
Yeah, I just don't want it. I just don't want it. I'm going to watch it because that's what I do. Because you know why I'm going to watch it? Because I'm going to scout Ole Miss. Why I'm going to watch it, I'm going to be scouting Oregon and seeing if I'm going to pick them for the next round because anything is possible on any given Friday or Saturday. I know that, but I don't expect anything to be close of a game in those 2 games at all.
You mentioned Miami as being one of the underdogs and how they could have upset city on a few people. I just keep thinking about how Tulane is one of the underdogs with the real legitimate football-based path to pull an upset this weekend. Here's a couple reasons why.
Okay.
Tulane's physicality matches up with Ole Miss better than any other underdog faces their favorite team this weekend. Yes, Ole Miss getting the team out of position. Ole Miss creates space with tempo. Ole Miss is forcing mismatches with athletes, but Tulane tackles well, plays physical defense, physical disciplined zone coverage, excels at limiting teams to explosive plays, doesn't panic against speedy teams because they're built to withstand the punches that Ole Miss may throw. And again, mentally, Joe, where will Ole Miss and the Rebels be? You lost your head coach who went to another team that's in the same conference as y'all. You lost several players that said, well, if Lane not going to stay, I'm not going to stay. I'm out of here. You've got some players that's feeling less than because star players have gone and moved on and because Lane is gone. I think the setup is real. You've got a team in Tulane that can run the ball, control the clock, hit efficient intermediate passes. They keep the ball out of the hands of the Ole Miss, and anything can happen. If they don't turn the ball over and they get 1 or 2 turnovers, anything can happen. I just think that the way that Tulane has gone about the end of their year and losing their coach is something that we need to keep our eyes on. And I'm talking about Summerall. I believe that's the coach.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It's something we need to keep our eyes on because when it comes to Ole Miss and how they have to feel neglected and dejected, that's got to be able to play into the hands of Tulane to give them the upper hand. Please share your thoughts.
Yeah, you have to break this down really piece by piece, Stu. Ole Miss didn't bring another coach in. All right, so that defensive coordinator, he's had some relationships with those guys on the football team. So it's not going to be brand new. The guys, a few of those coaches came back from LSU to coach, offensive coach. So it's going to be somewhat of business as usual. But you're only talking, and I agree with you with Tulane. Tulane is a formidable team. They're a well-coached team. However, the things you just mentioned, it's going to help you cover the spread. Okay. It's going to help you keep this close. It's going to help you be competitive, not to the tune of it's going to be a fourth quarter game. Because it's going to come down to the Jimmys and Joes. And you kind of glossed over it a little bit. But, Stu, there's some distractions going on with John Summerall leaving as well. How did he and his staff balance between going to Florida and the recruiting and all those things? Let's not gloss over that. And I know nobody's angry, and I know nobody left Tulane to go somewhere else. But again, that's still distractions. Distractions come in a lot of different forms. Agreed. As far as your coaches being in, being out. Is he in the office or is he in Florida? Those type things, the practice schedule, all those things coming into play. And that's what leads me, well, not lead me into it, but I wonder a little bit about those 4 teams that's getting the bye. Those 4 teams, Stu, that's not playing this weekend and resting and watching.
Let's go there right now. Last year, no team with a bye won a game. Will one of the teams playing this weekend hold up the trophy, Joe? So in essence, I'm asking if these 4 play-in teams, because that's how I'm looking at them, playing this weekend. Okay. Yeah. Do you think there's a possibility at all that one of those play-in teams will find a way to hold up the trophy at the end of this tournament? Or do you see one of the teams that have a bye that are the first seeded teams this season ultimately holding up the trophy at the end of the year?
Ooh-wee. I'm going because I'm picking Miami to win it all. I am going with the play-in teams, Stu, that you mentioned. I'm going with the play-in teams. I like Miami. I absolutely like Alabama in that pedigree, although sometimes Kalen DeBoer, has me scratching my head about his play calling and clock management at times and whether he can get his team ready to play. You look at a team like Oregon that's, physical, talented, well coached. And here's the deal about the teams that's not playing this weekend. I'm not knocking them that they're not going to be ready to play. Hear me good, Stu. I'm talking about when the other team that's playing right now or going to play this weekend, will they be on a roll? This is how long now before those 4 teams would have played a game? It's going to be, yes. Yeah. So now it would have been that long for these guys that's playing this weekend now, but it's not. They're going to have their feet wet already. They're going to be already playing the intensity of a game, the speed of the game. So that there in the pageantry of the whole entire, build up to it. Not the guys that hadn't been played, and you can practice all you want, and you can have high intensity practices. You can call it Bloody Tuesday, Tough Wednesday. You can say, hey, you can run Oklahoma drills to try to make sure your tackling is crisp. But if you hadn't had that game experience in over a month, how rusty will you be? And in the playoffs, dude, you can't afford to be rusty for a quarter and then get your feet wet the second quarter. It might be a little bit too late. So That's why I worry a little bit about the teams with a bye because of so much time off while other good teams are playing this weekend.
This is good. This is fruitful. It's In the Huddle with your boy Joe Ham. I'm One Live Stu, Ryan Stewart. I think last year proved it, and we disagree when it comes to Miami getting it done this year. I don't think they'll get it done. I think the bye teams are going to be more than vulnerable. Teams that play early, they come in primed for war. I think this year you've got 3 to 4 teams playing on Friday that can beat anybody on a neutral field. So if I'm picking one, I'm thinking Oregon is the most complete team. Yeah. If I'm picking one, I'm thinking Ole Miss, even without Lane Kiffin, is the most explosive team. Even if I'm picking another one, A&M is the most physical team defensively. Okay, and Oklahoma, in my eyes, is the biggest emotional wild card. I think one of those 4 teams will ultimately end up winning it all because of the 4 teams being the best that have to bye, not being in tune-up shape. Yep. I really think that we'll be surprised this year. And Joe, I am very, very excited about it. I want to see Ole Miss play extremely well, and I have no reason to like Ole Miss. Yeah. I have several reasons to dislike Ole Miss, but I feel like those kids were defecated on. Those kids have been done wrong.
By who, Stu? Just food for thought.
By Lane Kiffin.
Okay.
Not by management, not by the AD, not by the AD saying, no, you can't coach them, not by the AD saying, if you leave and get the hell out of here. I understand all that. But for Lane Kiffin to work with that team for the past few years, past 6 seasons, have the best year that they've ever had in their history, be in a position to play for it all, which that's what this is, and to walk away. I want to see them have success. I want to see them make the doubters that say, oh, they can't get it done without Lane or without this player that left, without this player that left. I want to see them get it done despite all of that, and I'm hoping it gets done. And again, I think that last year proved that the teams that didn't play will have a hard time. I think that the 4 teams that work for the bye, especially Indiana, I think they're going to be in a deficit when it comes to competition next week, but not this week. I really think that go ahead, Joe, please.
No, I wholeheartedly agree with you. But I'm going to say for myself, and I'm going to speak for myself, this might change for me if one of those teams, the 4 teams that's getting their bye, win their first game, right? Because if they win their first game, that means they're acclimated then to the speed. So there's no advantage there with the teams that played before them. See, last year we weren't able to even see if they could go even further.
Agreed.
Because they all lost.
Agreed.
So if any of those guys were to move on, that shows that you played your preseason game, so to speak. Right. You got your warm up in and you won. Then we might have to reshuffle this thing. Yeah. But as far as talent, this is a talented pool of, I say, 10 teams, and that's no disrespect to Tulane and James Madison, but 10 teams.
Or is disrespect?
Well,
I understand. I don't think you should disrespect Tulane, maybe James Madison, but I understand where you're coming from. I think Tulane's got a lot of meat on their bones, and hell,
that should be the play-in tournament. That should be the play-in tournament. James Madison and Tulane. And then two who get in for the 12th spot.
They should play for the final spot. I'm not mad at that, Joe.
Yeah. So, but Stu, it's wide open. Stu, there's some really good, well-balanced team, like you called out in Oregon. Indiana's that team. Georgia Bulldogs is that team. Ohio State. So there's a lot of balance.
Alabama's got a lot to fight for, coming off of a SEC beat down to the hands of the Georgia Bulldogs.
I'm just as excited as you are, man, about how it unfolds. Is it the quarterback play? Is it the coaching? Are we going to crown a new head coach that's never won a title? All those things are in the making now, man, because will that experience pay off? So I must say this: the two of the coaches that have buys now, they're champions, and Kirby Smart and Ron Dane. So they've been down this road before. Yeah.
In the huddle with your boy Joe Ham, I'm One Live student Ryan Stewart. Before we get out of the world of college football and jump into the National Football League, let's talk about the Jackets for this last topic before we pay some bills, Joe.
Yeah.
The Jackets are losing coaches by the day. The Jackets are losing players by the day.
Yeah.
Joe, is the grass greener elsewhere, or is there something that I'm missing?
I'm missing something, Stu. I am really missing something because I'm caught in between that. Are coaches leaving and players leaving because they've exhausted all the opportunities with the Yellow Jackets? That's how Haynes King came to Georgia Tech. He was a graduate from Texas A&M already. It wasn't a transfer portal. If you're leaving from that, that's fine. What about Buster Faulkner? Why did you go to Florida? Did you go to Florida to taste the SEC? The grass is greener. It wasn't a pay raise because Georgia Tech matched your pay raise.
They were willing to pay to keep you the same amount of money that Florida's going to get for you picking up and taking off. They said, we will match it dollar for dollar, and he still chose to leave.
And the running backs coach we had took his services to Virginia Tech. And an analyst went up there with Coach Faulkner to Florida. The assistant offensive line coach went to with Buster Faulkner to Florida. Why, Stu?
The backup quarterback,
Aaron Philo
that was going to step into the starting position now that our guy Haynes King is gone. Allegedly, he's leaving because he was offered some big money by Florida's new coach, which was our coordinator.
That I heard matched that offer.
Yeah.
Okay, so why? So I'll be very transparent with you. My great friend, well, not great friend, but my really good friend and teammate who protected me, Brent Key.
Yep.
Are you running guys out? Are you being too tough on guys? Are guys thinking your way? Is it your way or the highway? And Stu, I'm not hearing rumors. It's just me trying to find answers. Why would you leave Aaron Philo? Now, it could be something to where Buster Faulkner recruited him. It could be something to where he and Buster Faulkner, they have a really, really good relationship. But he's going to have to compete. He's going to have to compete over at Florida. So I'm just wondering, Stu, and I feel bad because as I look at it, we're getting stripped down like we always get stripped down.
We
lost our AD to Michigan State. Who are they? So when you look at it, can't we have good things?
Our new AD that still had milk up under his lip.
Can we not have good things, man? And good things stay put. So I'm not blaming anybody leaving. I'm just scratching my head as of why would you get out of Dodge when the money, you can't say it's money. Because now Georgia Tech is matching the money.
Right.
Georgia Tech is
trying to.
Georgia Tech is up in the ante on their head coach as far as paying them more than they usually play. Yeah. So I think you're doing everything you should do. I just question whether they think the grass is greener better than what Coach Key's presenting, man. That's all I'm asking.
I'll add a little bit to this before we get out of here and pay some bills and come back and talk some NFL. The college football landscape is chaos right now. It's the most unstable era in college football history. You got NIL, you got transfer portal, you got mega conference realignment, coaching salary explosions, tampering at its best. And to be honest, these guys can legally tamper now and wave money up under these young kids' noses, and even playoff expansion. The instability is very real. Players and coaches are being poached more aggressively than ever before. And when it comes to Georgia Tech, man, I'm not belittling our program. I'm not knocking our program, but we're looked at as a stepping stone.
Yes.
We're looked at as a development program that, people can come and buy players and coaches off our roster to make their teams better. We're looked at like GTs where you've been developed well. GT evaluates well. GT upgrades players. GT has legitimate on-field culture now, but Tech does not have top 15 NIL money and opportunities like other schools that we're talking about. So
that's not true, though, Stu. And that irks me. And what you just read, that is the sentiment. That is absolutely the rumors that goes around about us. That's how we lost Eric Singleton Jr. last year. Auburn wasn't a great team. Florida's not a great team. I'll give you SEC.
But Auburn and Florida are blue bloods. Auburn and Florida have boosters and collectives that's a tad bigger than ours.
Yeah.
And again, I'm proud to hear you say we tried to match Faulkner. We tried to get our backup quarterback to stay. We offered to match. But when we offer to match, the other school's going to say, okay, then we'll add 500 more. And then we get into a nut-cutting competition where our testicles ain't the size of an Auburn. Our testicles ain't the size of a Florida. And I'm not knocking us, but that's just reality. Brent Key is doing an outstanding job for everyone to come and poach from us. They want what he's doing. They want what he's building. They want his mentality. Just like Brent Key was poached from a Nick Saban. Just like Kirby was poached from a Nick Saban. He came from those trees. Those guys know what they're doing. So he's trying to build a culture that can resist the temptation of everybody leaving. But right now that culture isn't built just yet, in my humble opinion.
Can Florida guarantee Aaron Philo if he goes there the quarterback job?
They can lie and tell him it's going to be his, and he can have comfort in that because his coordinator that was with him at Georgia Tech and who knows who he is and has familiarity with him has a relationship with him.
Do you think he would have to compete?
Hell yeah, he's going to have to compete.
Hard. Okay, but what I'm saying is this guy was the plate was at his dinner table here at Georgia Tech.
I agree.
I mean, he's the next man up. What I'm saying to you, that's unprecedented, man.
I'm not shorting us, Joe. I'm not shorting us, but the real is the real.
I got you. Yeah, it is. It just hurts me, man. It hurts. That's all. That's facts you were spitting, but it hurts. That's all. I mean, our backup quarterback that we said we should not take a back seat, that we should hit the ground running, and next year we should be rolling. and now we got to go hunt.
We got to go hunt. We got to go back to the table. We got to figure out what's next now. We didn't just lose the ACC Player of the Year and a guy that could have been considered a Heisman Trophy winner had we not fallen apart at the end of the season the last month.
Right.
But we gotta go recruit his backup now. I'll say this before we pay these bills. There's no better guy to recruit his backup than Brent Key. There's not a coach that I have more confidence in and a fire lit up under my behind in more than Brent Key right now.
I love it.
That he's doing the right thing and that he's building a culture.
Yeah, we got to trust him. He's earned that.
Up next in the Doghouse with your boys, the Two Live Stews. I'm sorry, in the huddle with Joe Ham. Joe, I'm sorry for screwing that up all day today. It's in the huddle with Joe Ham. So up next with Stu and Joe, we're going to get to the NFL, man. A handful of injuries that were key this past weekend. Who's the big dog in the AFC North? Will we see a new coach win a title or a championship? Will we see one of the old guards of the NFL that's already got a title like Stafford, like Hurts? Will we see one of them hold the trophy up again this year? Or will this be the year that Josh Allen gets it done? It's in the huddle with Joe Ham. We'll dive into the NFL next. Y'all keep it locked. Listen, I played in the NFL. I've taken enough shots to last a lifetime. And let me tell you this, taking a shot just to lose weight, that's not a smart play. That's why I roll with Brain IQ, the all-natural weight chews, cut cravings, boost metabolism, and sharpen focus. No needles, no chemicals, no crash. Just results you can chew on. And Brain IQ is not just about weight chews. They've got a full lineup of all-natural products to keep your mind sharp, your body fueled, and your health on point. Skip the needles, choose natural. Order now. BrainIQHealth.com/REF/1LiveStew. Brain IQ Chews. Smart, natural, built for results. I promised to make some time doing chat on last week's show. Okay. So that's exactly what I'm getting ready to do before we dive into this NFL. I ain't no liar. I'm tired of lying to people like I've been lying to them for the last few weeks. We're going to read a few comments, man. Shouts out to everybody that's in. Carrie Porter says good morning. Carrie says good morning to you and I, Joe. We appreciate you, Carrie. Good morning, Carrie. The beautiful Mocha Bella. She says good afternoon, Ryan and Joe. We appreciate you, Mocha. Two Live Stews. Shouts out to Tree Taylor, who's working and doesn't have to be working right now, doing other things. During this broadcast, you can support the Two Live Stews by sending stars, a digital gift that helps the Stews and their team earn a little bit of bread. We appreciate you for posting that, Tree. The great Marvin Childs and Carrie Porter both said hello. Marvin says, what's up, Joe? Carrie Porter says, Marvin. Texas high school and the state. I'll post this one. The championship starts today. A lot of big-time football being played in Texas right now. I think, if I'm not mistaken, 4 to 5 biggest platforms for high school football is the great state of South Carolina, the great state of Alabama, the great state of Florida, the great state of Texas, and the great state of California. Those are the championship games in high school that we'll see this year because that's where some of the best talent is, in my humble opinion. So we appreciate you, Carrie. Let's see. Marvin Child says, how about them Steelers? How about how they probably gonna get their tail busted this weekend? I mean, that's, I don't want to tease you, Marvin, but I do think they've done an outstanding job. I am a fan of Coach Tomlin, but that win this past weekend leaves a lot to be desired. Miami is, I mean.
No, give credit, Stu, to the Steelers for that Miami win, because again, we can talk everything we want to talk about Miami and Tua getting benched, but they were on a 4-game winning streak. Miami had been playing good ball, and Pittsburgh completely shut that down because of the lack of being a productive quarterback that Tua was this past week, and that's why this NFL thing, man, is mesmerizing to me. How exciting it's going to work out.
Right.
Mesmerizing.
Sir, I won my biggest bet of the year on the Pittsburgh Steelers-Miami game. And let me tell you why. Tua and the Miami Dolphins.
And the weather.
they're like 0 for 8, 0 for 7, or 0 for 8 whenever the temperature's below 50 degrees.
They lost
And
their
the
last
temperature
14, Stu. Last 14 they've lost. 2 hadn't won a game in cold weather under 40 degrees yet. It's bad, man. And you're talking about making $54 million a year.
Oh, God.
And you're talking about a guy that's been concussed like numerous amount of times.
Yeah. Shouts out to you, Carrie Portis. Carrie says, I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of the NBA Cup. I couldn't disagree more. And I think it was so good this year that I'm a little appalled that you had to have a streaming service named Prime to watch it.
Yeah.
Let's dig a little bit deeper before we get into this. Shouts out to you, Fly Ty. Shouts out to you, the beautiful Tiffany Poodles in Portland. Looking forward to seeing you in the cruise. First couple of drinks with me, Tiffany. Can't wait to see y'all. We'll go ahead and dive into the NFL, or the world of the NFL. Joe, there were significant injuries that took place this past weekend. Injuries that set the Packers back. Injuries that set the Rams back. The Chiefs lost the best quarterback in the National Football League, in my humble opinion, in Patrick Mahomes. And even the Dallas Cowboys had a few losses. Not that it matters because they're not going to the postseason this year anyway.
Right.
Talk to me about the postseason, not the postseason. Talk to me about the in-season injuries that's going to affect teams when it comes to the postseason play this year, Joe.
Well, first of all, Stu, let's can that 18-game regular season. Can they not meet about that every offseason as far as NFLPA and the owners? You don't want these guys playing extra games. I mean, injuries as it is, it's a long season, including the preseason. I'm not saying that's why it happened, because obviously it's not week 16 or 17
Well, I was just about to say, if this was week 17 or beyond, I would say, okay, you got a point.
No, I understand.
Not.
I understand. I just don't want it to go any further, because guys are going to be holding on and guys are going to be trying to finish the season off and just gradually get there. Because the way it's matching up right now, Stu, it's matching up to be exciting football for the last 3 weeks. Unfortunate for Patrick Mahomes to go out the way he was able, had to go out, tearing his ACL, a clean tear, I might add. And not only might I add that, don't you know that Patrick Mahomes has already had surgery? He's had surgery on the ACL already. Normally, when I tore my ACL and when my daughter tore her ACL, we had something what is called prehab. They wanted you to go ahead and do some work to get it
Strengthen
stronger.
it up a little bit, yes.
There you go, Stu, to make sure you're ready to balance out with the other knee. But that was because I had ruptured everything, ACL, PCL, and MCL. My daughter had a little bit of meniscus in that as well, in hers. But Pat had a clean tear. He didn't have to prehab. He can go in there and do it. I'm not sure about Michael Parsons, but it's vital. Green Bay Packers just lost their quarterback of the defense, an all-world player, impact player. And now you have to go and you face the Chicago Bears this week for the top of the division. That's crucial. The Chiefs, without Patrick Mahomes, there is no hope now as far as withstanding, I think they're already out of the playoff race now.
They are.
But watch them play for pride, or watch them play for or with pride.
Yeah.
How do you want to go out, Travis Kelce? How do you want to go out some of these other guys finishing out the season? But Stu, I'll be remiss if I don't say to the NFL and the schedule makers, these last few weeks, the schedule they have lined up, let me call you out some matchups.
Let's go.
Patriots versus the Ravens. The Ravens need it bad. Patriots are 11-3 in the Buffalo Bills. They haven't clinched that division yet. Steelers versus your Lions. Huge game for both of those guys. The Steelers can't afford to lose, and the Lions are really trying to back their way in the playoffs, being third in that division already. Jaguars and the Broncos. Shout out to Liam Cohen.
Yes.
You remember when he said Duval,
right.
And they tried to boo him off stage because he wasn't able to do it?
Right.
He knows how to coach. He knows how to coach. He's got Trevor Lawrence acting like he is earning all of his money right now. And the Broncos, can Sean Payton, with all of his accolades and the idea that we consider him being one of the best coaches, can he possibly win Coach of the Year? Right. They don't give it out to those type guys that's been there, done that. Right. But he deserves it. He deserves it because now that Shane Steichen has, taken a back seat a little bit, I think the front runner is Ben Johnson in Chicago. but you have to throw Mike Vrabel in there. You have to throw Sean McVay in there, and you have to throw Sean Payton in there.
Yeah.
They're doing an outstanding job of coaching.
Yeah, yeah.
What about tomorrow night, Stu? Seahawks
Huge
and the
game.
Rams.
Huge game. Huge game.
Carolina and the Bucks. Carolina and the Bucks.
It matters for the NFC South. Huge game.
7-7. Both teams are 7-7.
Somebody between those two teams are going to represent the NFC South and get a first seed in the postseason.
And this is week 14 with 3 games left. The matchups that they're paying up this way, but the above 500, the things that matching are the division foes and the division rivalries and what's on the line. You got old man Phillip Rivers trying to keep the Indianapolis Colts alive, playing against the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, man, Rivers.
Yeah, I'm in awe of Rivers. I'm in awe.
Right.
I'm in awe.
We're going to talk about him in a little while before we get about here, and we don't have much time left. We appreciate all y'all for being here in the huddle with your boy Joe Ham. When it comes to these injuries that Joe just talked about, I think these injuries couldn't come at a worse time. Green Bay loses continuity. The Rams lose their stars. The Chiefs lose their margin of error, and the Cowboys lost their rhythm way earlier. So I think the injuries are losing Devontae Adams is pivotal when it comes to the Rams and the success that they may have. Puka Nacua and Stafford and Adams have something going on that's extremely strong. There's some kind of kinetic energy there. But now without Adams being there, now what can you do? You can shade coverage to Puka. So, if he's being doubled every snap, they do have a third string receiver that's good enough, or the X receiver, the wide receiver is a good receiver too. He's now going to be moving outside, but it's okay. The injuries are huge. Now, you mentioned the NFC South and how competitive it will be with the Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers playing. So let's talk about the AFC North.
Ooh.
Let's talk about Tomlin versus Harbaugh.
Yes,
Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers versus Lamar Jackson. Two teams that are still trying to fight to win the AFC North. Two teams that can get that first seed to find a way to get a bye. Sir, I think it's must-see TV when it comes to both of those teams and what they're doing in the AFC North. Please share your thoughts.
Put the women and children to bed. It's a bloodbath. It's going to be a bloodbath. Right now, I want Baltimore to go ahead and make it to the Super Bowl because I can't wait for Lamar Jackson to get his championship trophy. But it's a tough road they have to travel. They playing the Ravens, the Patriots this week. Next week they got the Packers, and then they end up with the Steelers. The Steelers road is they're going to play the Lions this week. They got a somewhat of a bye week. I'm just playing in the Cleveland Browns, and then they have the Ravens. So the 3-game stretch, and again, you got to give a shout out to the schedule makers because those two teams, the Steelers and the Ravens, they're going to match up in week 18, the last week of the season. Yeah. So I want it to come down to that the winner of that game goes to the playoffs, and that's how the schedule makers draw it up. But I ask you, sir, and I've been deliberating between myself this whole since I sent you the rundown. Do you trust more Tomlin and Rodgers, two Super Bowl winning coach, Super Bowl winning player, or Harbaugh, Lamar Jackson, Super Bowl winning coach, not necessarily a Super Bowl winning player? Because coaching matters.
Coaching matters, and both of these coaches have an iron fist. Both of these coaches are the reason why their teams are winning football games. Both of these quarterbacks are future Hall of Fame quarterbacks. I gotta go Tomlin when it comes to the coach.
No, I'm talking package deal.
Okay,
package deal.
Okay, so you're talking package deal. I got to go Tomlin when it goes to the coach. And when it goes to the quarterback, because he's still not all the way healthy, and neither is Aaron Rodgers, I've got to go with the X factor and the legs of Lamar Jackson. Mm-hmm. And he hasn't ran the ball here recently. He's finding ways to win here the last couple of weeks. But, yeah, I got to go Tomlin. And I got to go Lamar Jackson. But if you're talking about package deal, I can only take one pair together, I got to give it to the Baltimore Ravens.
Yep. That's good, Stu. Well said. I have nothing to add. Unfortunately, I should have something, but I am going to add this: that because of Lamar Jackson's leg and his youthfulness, he puts me over the hump, because I do think Mike Tomlin is a better coach, but he puts me over the hump over Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers needs excellent protection at his age right now.
Yes.
And that line for the Pittsburgh Steelers is not that stout.
Agreed.
So when you run up against a stout defense and he has to pat that ball a little bit longer than he wants to, that's a problem. That's a problem.
Yeah. The AFC North is pure theater, as you mentioned earlier. Tomlin versus Harbaugh is legendary. Rodgers versus Lamar is poetry and violence all at the same time. Every snap matters, every decision matters, and every game feels like a playoff elimination game every time these two teams play. This is a division you turn on even if your team isn't playing, because the fireworks are guaranteed. This is In the Huddle with your boy Joe Ham. We've talked about old man Phillip Rivers. He gets his second start this week. Last week it was the Seattle Seahawks, who he had an opportunity to win. And this week it's the 49ers, sir. Give me the pros and cons, and give me your thoughts on Phillip Rivers going into week 2 as the starter at 44 years old and a granddad for the Indianapolis Colts.
Okay, pros, he's a granddad. Another pro is the fact that on SportsCenter this week, they had his high school team. They showed it where they were watching the game and cheering for him. They had one of his teammates or one of his players that's going to South Alabama speak on SportsCenter and saying how proud or how happy he is for his coach to be playing. So that was motivational. So for Phillip Rivers and his kids, his family, to see him out there playing is a pro. It's a pro for Shane Steichen, the head coach, to be able to go to a quarterback to say knows the offense, that I don't have to teach the offense to, that can get the ball out of his hand. Yeah. And that's where it stops right there. That's where it stops. Yeah. And the cons are he can't throw the ball downfield.
I was about to talk to you about that, Joe.
So he can't win a game, Stu. So it's a good thing to talk about it. Sentimental. Shout out to Phillip Rivers for staying in shape, being able to, and he's going to be much better. They don't play till Monday night against the San Francisco 49ers.
Hold on. Please
so that whole week, absolutely.
Please remember what you're going to say. You said he's going to be much better. Is he going to be much better, or is he going to be sore like a 45-year-old man? Is he going to be much better, or is his ligaments and muscles going to be tighter? Is his body going to be hurting from the falls that he took last week? Is he going to be much better, Joe? Give me your thoughts.
Remember remember who and what you're dealing with, Stu. You were a part of it. That's the NFL. He's in better hands than anybody can possibly be in. I
agree with
when
that.
You're talking about rehab
and
massages, and if he's sore, they're going to touch him every single day of the week. Yeah. I mean, he can live in the ice pool. He can live with a personal trainer, can follow him home. He's going to have those machines to help him get back. Now, I know you can't beat for all the time, but I'm talking about just that recovery, being the chemistry with the wide receivers, all that. What I'm talking about, he's going to be much better. Now, he's not going to be able to move. He's not going to be able to move, and he's not going to develop arm strength in a week. So that's going to still be limited. But as far as being more acclimated, they're going to know his snap comes better. They're going to add more plays, how much he can handle. But I don't think they can win. When that heat gets on him, man, it's going to be bad. And you know what? I'm not going to apologize, but I will say this. I was totally wrong about my expectations for Phillip Rivers. Yeah. I thought he was going to get hurt.
Yeah. Well, he's always released the ball fast out of his hands.
Yes, that's correct.
He's always been a guy that's not going to hold on to it, not going to pat it, not going to dance in the pocket.
Yep.
And you mentioned it just now. The cons are he was check down Charlie this past weekend. He was screen left, screen right, dump down tight end, dump down quick hook, quick curl. He didn't push the ball down the field at all, and that's the reason why the Colts didn't win. That's the reason why he didn't give them the best opportunity to win.
That's right.
Starting Phillip Rivers again gives the coach experience, stability, and pre-snap intelligence. I think he'll be better when it comes to mid-range passes this upcoming week. No, he's not going to use his legs, but I do think that he will be one more week worth of comfortable when it comes to his performance for the Colts. Now, I don't think the 49ers are better than the Seahawks right now. I think the Seahawks have one of the best defenses in the league.
Correct, sir.
And they found a way to withstand that last week to protect him where he didn't have any blow-up shots. But again, he was letting that thing ride. I mean, on 3 steps, it was gone. On 5 steps, it was gone. He wasn't giving the defense a chance to get to him last week. Let's see how the 49ers endure and change that. If they squat their corners,
they are,
and sit everybody down because he was checked down, Charlie, and have a pass rush.
Yeah.
Phillip, this might be the week where Phillip Rivers really has the problems that we were all concerned about when it comes to him being hit and injured. I think the film from the Colts game last week is going to help the 49ers tremendously prepare to beat these guys in a better fashion than the Seattle Seahawks did.
Well said, partner. Well said. And by the way, Phillip Rivers' last game only got touched 4 times.
Right. Yeah.
Shout out to his offensive line.
Right.
And I will reintroduce you to 2 of the quarterback's best friend.
Okay.
Tight end and running back. Mm-hmm. So now you're talking Tyler Warren from Penn State, an outstanding rookie tight end, and you're talking about Jonathan Taylor. Y'all going to have to show up for old man. Y'all going to have to show up for the old man because he's going to need y'all, no doubt about it.
In the huddle with your boy Joe Ham, I am One Live Stu Ryan Stewart here to remind you that tomorrow morning there will be another show. It's the 2 Live Stews experience right here on Stewart Media and Entertainment on YouTube. Y'all please like, subscribe, and pass the word when it comes to the platform on Stewart Media and Entertainment. Y'all let everybody know that we're back. Let everybody know that we're here Mondays and Thursdays. And if you can't catch us live, catch us whenever time allows. As we wrap things up for the day, Joe, only 3 quarterbacks remaining in the playoff race have won a championship. That's Matthew Stafford, that's Aaron Rodgers decades ago, and that's Jalen Hurts as of last year. Will we add another quarterback to this mix, or do you see one of these 3 quarterbacks finding a way to withstand everybody else and hold the trophy up at the end of the season?
I love playing Q and A with myself. And I ask myself this question, Stu, and I ask you as well. Will I take, as far as quarterbacks are concerned, the field, who makes the playoffs, the team or the quarterbacks that's not won a championship yet? Or do I take Jalen Hurts, Matthew Stafford, or Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
And that's a tough one. That's a tough one because right now, the best team in the National Football League, in my humble opinion, right now, is the Los Angeles Rams. So that would be meaning I'm picking Matthew Stafford to be one of the guys.
Yep.
But God, man, Josh Allen looks like that road is his for the taking. And the way he wills his teams, the way he puts on a Superman cape when it's needed. I mean, you're talking about down 21-0 at New England with the division on the line, and to show up like that.
That was one of the games I had on my 4-team multiplay screens. And
man,
I took that game off. I said it's over.
Yeah.
It was you or my line brother that hit me up saying, "Are you watching this Buffalo New England game? It's one of the best I've seen." And I put it back on like, holy smokes, what happened?
Yes.
Incredible game this past weekend, Joe.
What are you going to do about the great, and I'm not using that loosely, the great play calling coach and Sean Payton?
Right.
With an outstanding defense that leads the league in sacks and is about to set the NFL record with the 85 Chicago Bears as far as sacking the quarterback. What you going to do with him? And Bo Nix that's up and coming. Yeah. He's a Super Bowl champion. He's been there, done that. So I don't know how you do it. Are you going to ride with Bo Nix, who's your second year? Are you going to ride with the second-year quarterback in Drake May? Mm-hmm. Are you going to ride in like the 3rd or the 5th-year quarterback in Trevor Lawrence that's playing well? Are you going to ride with the 3rd-year quarterback in C.J. Stroud, which has the best defense in the NFL? Right. Where are you going to go? Jordan Love for the Packers. Caleb Wilson. I dare say Caleb Wilson in the Chicago Bears.
Caleb Williams, yes.
I'm sorry. Caleb Williams. Yeah. So, I mean, come on, man. This is what I like about football. I am a fan of the Cowboys, but when you have it like this, when you have parity and you can't really make up your mind, this is where it goes on down in December, brother.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. As we wrap things up in the huddle with your boy Joe Ham, I'm One Live Stu Ryan Stewart. We just talked about the 3 quarterbacks that have held up a trophy when it comes to Stafford, Rodgers, and Hurts. So there's 5 coaches that have won a championship as well. Sirianni, Payton, McVay, Harbaugh, and Tomlin. Will we add another coach to that mix? And based upon your answer to the last question, I'm guessing you're thinking no because you like the Rams. But share your thoughts on that with the 5 coaches that have held one up and their opportunities to win one, or will we see a new coach this season?
Yeah, I don't think it's legitimate to where the AFC North is going to get a Super Bowl representative. They're not going to get Super Bowl champions coming out of that. I don't think their team, the Ravens or the Steelers, are going to get that hot to be able to make that move. I just don't believe it. I just do not believe it. So that's going to X those guys out. Sirianni, until you beat the Philadelphia Eagles, they're going to be there to stay. Jalen Hurts, I want him to really get these guys off of his back as far as the media, some of his own teammates, the critics. Leave the man alone. Mike McDonald over there in Seattle. Very, very good coach. Very good coach. The Packers and LaFleur. Michael Parsons is going to be tough. Very, very tough. If you had me to pick a Super Bowl matchup right now, Stu, and you and I are going to do this until we lead up into the Super Bowl, I would have to go Sean McVay matching up against Sean Payton in the Denver Broncos.
In the huddle with your boy Joe Ham. For the sake of brevity here and to move things along, I really like what McVay and the Rams have right now, even though they lost Adams.
No. You said that a few times now. He's thinking about. They're not even ruling him out to play this.
Well, that's what I was just about to say. That right.
Yep.
There's no way in the world he's gonna play this week.
I like that, Stu. I love
there's
talking
no way
to
in the
you.
world.
Yeah.
There's no way they're gonna put him out there now because they can sacrifice this. They can sacrifice the rest of the year to get into the postseason. Okay. And make sure that his hammy is in a position to go.
Well, do you consider? I'm sorry to cut you off. Do you consider? Is it Allegiant Stadium, whatever stadium the Rams play in? Do you consider that a home field advantage? Because there is something to play for if you can have the playoffs going through LA.
Yeah.
Just food for thought.
I definitely consider home field advantage as something to play for, but not if you're gonna pull your hamstring altogether. Not if I'm going to lose you for the entire postseason.
That's right.
Again, when you've got a healthy Adams and Nakua on the outside, that's hell on a secondary.
Yes, sir.
That's hell on a defense. Adams is still leading the league in touchdown receptions right now.
By a landslide.
Yeah. Rest him and let him get all of his strength. Before we finish up talking about the NBA, I want to end things in the National Football League by talking about Shedeur Sanders, sir.
Yes, sir.
Give me your thoughts on his chances of being the future quarterback for the Cleveland Browns.
Out of 100%, I'll give it 77%, Stu. 77% because they're going to have to take some very high IQ football evaluators to be able to see Shedeur's skill set with this team and with this offense. I mean, Jerry Jeudy, he's basically back to U-Haul truck up. He's basically tanked the whole season. He looks like he want to go home with the couple drops that he had last week and in the week before that when he was trying to make a juke move and fumble the ball. Like, what do you think? What are you talking about, Jeudy? The play calling for Kevin Stefanski, I don't really like it. So I say this. We can't evaluate Shedeur Sanders if we're not going to evaluate Kevin Stefanski. And I'm not talking about what they have done prior to this coming week. The rest of the season, we can't separate them from each other. Are we going to say Jerry Jeudy is not playing well? Give Shedeur that and say he doesn't have a wide receiver. Right. You can't give Kevin Stefanski glory that who he's dealing with and not give the same grace to Shedeur.
Agreed. I agree.
So I think his moxie. I think if Shedeur continues to keep on getting up, looking prepared, and the moment not being too big, he'll be able to compete for the Cleveland Browns going forward. Because in a perfect world for Shedeur Sanders is keep Dylan Gabriel, and keep Deshaun Watson, and let's go into camp this next year with those 3 quarterbacks. Right. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm thinking everybody on the roster would wish that would happen in that order.
They just want to get rid of Deshaun Watson so bad, but I just think he got him by the testicles.
He's got him guaranteed. He hasn't played.
Right.
Does he have a lot of football left in him still?
Well, I look at the Deshaun Watson situation in Cleveland, just like I'm looking at the Phillip Rivers situation in Indiana.
Much better. Much better, though.
Because Deshaun Watson knows the offense. Okay? He hadn't played much, but it's been the same terminology. It's been the same coach. There's familiarity there. And that's the only reason why Phillip Rivers has had success with the Colts, or why they almost won last week, because Phillip Rivers knows this offense. He knows Steichen. He's been running this offense with his son's team, the high school team that's showing them love. So that's the one positive for the Cleveland Browns when it comes to Deshaun Watson. If Deshaun Watson can get healthy and that quarterback room consists of Deshaun Watson next year, a healthy Deshaun Watson, a trouble-free Deshaun Watson that's not thinking about civil suits and massages, and you got Deshaun, you got Shador, and you got Gabriel there, that's a pretty good quarterback room.
Yeah, and the competition for the second string would be the competition between Shador and Deshaun might be up there, but they probably give it to Deshaun. I'm going to ask you a difficult question. I think it's difficult for you. Okay. If the Cleveland Browns would cut Deshaun Watson, would you be, and you don't owe him that big boatloads of money, you can do it from the minimum. You can do it for 20 to 25 million. Yeah. Would you be interested, if you own the team or a fan of your team, would you be interested in Deshaun Watson if he had the massages and all those things behind him?
I would take Deshaun Watson in a heartbeat with my team. My team is the Oakland Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah.
I would take Deshaun Watson with Pete Carroll, with Bowers at tight end, with a young sturdy back, a back that looks to be sturdy. I would take Deshaun Watson in a heartbeat. Now, teams that have bona fide number ones, they probably wouldn't want to touch him.
That's right.
But if the quarterback room has opportunities and you're looking for a starter, why not bring in Deshaun Watson?
I totally agree with you, brother. And because the reason why I love it is he's not at home.
Right.
This guy's in a facility. He's working out. He's throwing. So he's around football. So he's not on vacation somewhere. Yeah. And when you look at he hadn't played, that's less wear and tear on his body. I love that.
Shouts out to cousin Fly Tie, man. Fly Tie says, I'm a Niner fan, and they tend to give up too many yards on the ground. Hopefully it doesn't happen this week. Yeah, that's big.
Yeah, he's spot on about that.
They're playing one of the best running backs in the National Football League, and Jonathan Taylor. He will probably run the ball for more than 100 yards this week. If they don't stack the box, he will definitely have over 100 yards this week. And if they do stack the box, maybe Phillip Rivers, who gets the ball out of his hands fast, will have an opportunity to complete more passes on the outskirts and down the field. I don't know.
He can't do it. And Kyle Shanahan, man, has been coaching his butt off.
I agree.
I mean, all those injuries, man, to be, the way he's at, only losing 4 games, he's been doing a spectacular job coaching.
He'll be up for Coach of the Year as well.
Yes,
Shout out to the great Mocha Bella down there in Miami. The Bills don't have to compete with the Chiefs this year, so they do have a shot. I agree.
I agree with that as well.
There will be no better year for Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills to have a shot at it all than it is this year. KC out of the mix. The Ravens having some injury problems. Pittsburgh, not the Pittsburgh of old. Yes, this is the best year for the AFC and the Buffalo Bills to find a way to get it done.
But you know what has been Josh Allen's kryptonite his entire career?
His damn self when it comes to turning the ball over.
He's corrected that a tad bit, but he has been loose in some games this year.
The last few weeks he's gotten loose.
But his kryptonite has been away from home.
Yes, on the road.
So if it does not go through Orchid Park and up there in Buffalo, New York, he struggles a little bit away from home.
Yeah. Joe, can I tell you thank you, man?
Oh boy.
Can I tell you thank you, man? Your boy came in earlier today and didn't have all of his giddy up. Made a couple of problems. You made a few corrections, and we kept this train on the tracks, and we kept on moving. Thank you, man. A+ to you today. Outstanding job, Joe.
We didn't leave any drive without points.
No. And coaches these days are passing up on points left and right. Not us. We taking field goals. We taking extra points. We're not passing up the points.
No way.
Old school football. Everybody in the chat, thank y'all very much for bringing commentary to the table. Thank y'all for commenting on things that we're talking about. Thank y'all for sharing your opinion. Thank you for being here. Also, more importantly than anything else, thank y'all for passing the word and telling folks to subscribe and like the channel so you know when we're coming on with programming on this network. Thank you very much. We appreciate y'all. Y'all get a round of applause and y'all get an A+ also. God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. If you don't know him, you need to find him and show him love. That's all he's showing you, nothing but love. Don't forget to catch the Two Live Stews experience tomorrow morning at 7. If you can't catch us live, catch the show after that 10 o'clock area. I will be doing a fantasy football Two Live Stews report at the top of the 9 o'clock hour. You can catch us on WGPR, Hot 107.5 HD2 FM in Detroit, or you can catch us on the Sports Rap Network platform, where there's an app for that. Until then, okay, Joe, we got to talk about this real quick.
Yeah, we do have to talk about it. Yeah. What do you want to do? I know the people want it. The people want it, but it's all about what you want to do. And Stu, all the way up until Tuesday afternoon, we can make that decision. It's all up in you. I'll be home. We are hosting next Thursday, so I wouldn't be out of town or anything. So it's all up to you. I know where you were going.
Hey, man, it's Christmas Eve on the 24th, man.
Yes, it is.
Do you want to work on Christmas Eve? Because this is work. I know y'all think it ain't work. I know y'all think we don't put time into this thing. We put time into this thing.
Yes.
We talk about it all day. We try to bring you great programming.
Stu, I would necessarily say we chop it up how we chop it up. We don't have to. The people will want it. But it's all, this is fun and work to me, but I'm with it both ways, man.
Okay.
I just don't want to have, we want to have a lot of on our plate, man. Why do we have to make a decision now?
That's right. You're right. We don't have to make a decision now, because if we do decide to do a show, if you have liked and or subscribed to the platform, you will be notified of when the show is going to happen. So here's the deal. We will
right now,
let
I'm
y'all
leaning to a
know,
lot of things going on.
we will let y'all know by Tuesday if we're doing a show on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Let's do that. We'll let y'all know by Tuesday if we're doing a show by Wednesday. Tree will put a subscription. Tree will notify everybody through the platform if we're doing a show.
Yeah.
Let's do it like that, Joe, because I can think of a lot of good things that we'll have to talk about on New Year, on Christmas Eve. I can think about a whole lot.
Yes.
Let's
And,
do that, Joe.
and it is only 12 to 1.
It's just an hour. I see where you're headed. I know what you want to do. I know what you want to do. Hey, man, peace and blessings, y'all. We appreciate y'all. We'll maybe see y'all next week. If not, we'll see y'all at the beginning of the year. God is good, man. Y'all enjoy your holidays. If we don't come back, peace and love, y'all. Thank y'all very much.